shift things a little bit and talk a little bit about our core message at CES this year, which is reshaping global commerce. My name is Chhabra. I oversee global marketing and business development for Alibaba.com. I'm based out of our San Francisco Bay Area office. And for the next 30 minutes, I want to talk a little bit about exactly how we're reshaping global commerce and what Alibaba has done in the last 20 years. So we started in 1999. And 2019, 20 years later, we're still the leading global platform for manufacturers and buyers all over the globe. But technology is still the core of our business, and it's something we take a lot of pride in terms of re-innovating ourselves and our products and services to better serve the small and medium business owners around the globe. So. We're here because innovation and entrepreneurship goes hand in hand, and there are different ways we're showing this. So we're at the Design and Source Hall. Here, it's really about the products. It's really about the small business. If you've had a chance to go to our booth, you'll see that we're talking a little bit about trade assurance, logistics, a lot of different products and services, but it's really about the manufacturers that are there and the products that they've brought. And when you speak with these manufacturers, the four that were up here, there's a lot that they can do. They love working with small businesses because they can really build a business with them. They also want to work with larger businesses who are focused on OEM, ODM, so that they can show off their capabilities and what they can essentially do for businesses of all sizes. So, that's really important to us. But if you go to our other booth in Central Hall, it's a little bit more about technology. And, we'll talk about data, we'll talk about global and exactly what we're doing globally and how the consumer electronics market industry is growing and how Alibaba is a part of that as well. And many ideas remain just dreams. At the end of the day, it's about the products. And an idea can emerge anywhere. Walking around this area, there's a lot of products. There's a lot of ideas emerging, right? And that's really a true entrepreneur in us. Those ideas come to life by us actually taking action. But how do you take action? Usually an idea to an actual product can seem like such a big feat to climb. But that's where we like to think that we can sort of be your partner and help you bring your ideas to life. And we'll talk about that a little bit today. And what I also want to show is some success stories, individuals just like you who've actually taken ideas and turned them into life and actual products and actual businesses. So again, when you're ready to make ideas real, look to us. So we talked a little bit about this. Steve talked about this a little bit earlier, just in terms of how we're reshaping global commerce. And it's really enabling innovation for every kind of business. And what does innovation mean? Innovation can mean a lot of different things. At CES, it's all about tech trends. It's all about the new things that are coming to life and things that we're going to start seeing in the next 5 years or so. I mean, there's a flying taxi out there in the North Hall, and that can be a reality in the next 2 or 3 years. But that's what we really find here. And people usually ask me, attendees here, is like, why is Alibaba here? You don't produce any products, right? I was like, no, we don't, but there are a lot of products on our platform, and consumer electronics is the top category that we have. So the reason we're here is so that we can show off all of the manufacturers that you can find on our platform, but also how we're really innovating ourselves. And I'll talk about that a little bit later in terms of things like virtual reality, things like AI, how we're incorporating that into a B2B world and really making it more about the business focus. While VR is great at playing video games, we like to think of VR as, hey, how can I, sitting here in Las Vegas, get a tour of a supplier's factory halfway across the globe and feel like I know exactly who they are and what they're doing, what they're capable of. And that's where we come in, and that's how we're innovating ourselves with technology. So talk a little bit about entrepreneurship. Again, small businesses, that's really at the core of us. And after 20 years in business, that's really still our focus. And we love to talk about small business success stories. One of the things that I love about my job is when individuals come to me and say, hey, Sonny, thanks to Alibaba, I'm actually running a successful business today. I'm my own boss. And if it wasn't for Alibaba, I wouldn't have been able to actually make that happen. And I love that. And it's the same thing that happened with Mike. So I met Mike about 4 years ago at CES. And he said, hey, I had an idea, a simple idea. And it really came from my years of experience being a cameraman for NBC. But I just didn't know how to bring it to life. And Mike always had an issue with, with his cell phone. He's like, I take my cell phone out of my pocket, and I look at it, I put it back, and I seem to scratch my camera lens a lot. And as a professional, I want to make sure that I protect that. A case protects the phone, but not really the camera. But at the same time, we all have a camera on our phone now. But what if I want to turn that camera off? Just flip it over. There's no case today that helps me protect my camera, but at the same time help me close it for just peace of mind, front and back. So, that was his idea, and he just really kind of drew that up on a piece of paper. And he said, I went to Alibaba.com, and he sent that picture right there to a bunch of suppliers on Alibaba.com, because that was his idea, and he just drew that up. And with that, he was able to create his company, iPatch Case, which did exactly that. So, when I heard that story, I said, Mike, well, this is great. We want to capture that, because what you just told me is you had an idea, you drew it up on a piece of paper, you found a manufacturer from Alibaba.com, and through that you actually had a product made, and now you're actually selling this product. That's pretty much the full circle, and that's what we love to hear. So we actually captured this video last year, which I'm going to show. The video is about 2 minutes long, but this will pretty much tell the whole story.
I worked in television news for over a decade. I'd covered a story out of Pennsylvania. Students were given school-issued laptops in their elementary school. And some creepy IT guy hacked into these kids' laptops at home. Everything from that moment within me changed, because I became an entrepreneur. My name is Michael Sorrentino. I'm the founder, inventor, and CEO of iPatch Case. iPatch Case is a mobile device case, but it has a really cool feature that really none other has, and that's a switch on the top. When you flip the switch, you're covering both your front and rear cameras completely. There was a moment where I was listening to the radio and the DJ was saying how he puts tape over his camera, and I had the problem myself. I did a simple search online. I wanted to find something that maybe was a case, and I couldn't find anything that just integrated a simple lens cap. I knew about Alibaba.com. I knew that it was this thing that was out there that connected people like me with manufacturers all around the world. When I used a request for quotation on Alibaba.com, it was really easy to use. I could even attach a CAD file or a drawing to my request to give the manufacturer an idea of what I was looking to do. So I took my drawings and sent them to a product designer who was able to take my piece of paper and convert it into a 3D image. I had a product in my hand in a matter of weeks. We secured our funding through a crowdfunding site, and we were able to hit the ground running immediately. The day that I received the first samples in the mail, my wife and I opened a bottle of champagne and celebrated it. Whenever somebody says they have an idea and they want to try to see if they can bring it to the market, I always refer them to Alibaba.com, because you can get trade assurance, which means that every penny you spend is backed up with a guarantee that you're going to get it back if your needs aren't met. I cannot be at a computer at a desk all the time. Alibaba.com has an app that allows me to check in. It makes it really easy for me to stay in touch with my manufacturers, my suppliers, as well as potential new customers. This is one case going to Albuquerque, New Mexico. 3 cases sent to Switzerland. Beverly Hills, California. We're growing, we're scaling up, we're trying to expand. We're expanding into new markets. We're expanding into new devices. We're looking tablets, we're looking to laptops. We're looking to any mobile device out there that has a camera. We want to cover it. We have been picked up in BuzzFeed, The Verge, Apple. Every major tech website has written something about us. That recognition is so powerful to me. It has been a long road to get here. It's been fun and very difficult, and we have a long way to go. But man, has it been really exciting.
So that's just a quick sample of so many other stories that are out there. And if you guys ever get a chance, go to our YouTube page. You'll find so many other success stories just like Michael's out there. Some of the things that he talked about in there, trade assurance, mobile app, we can give you more information about that. Steve had a great session this morning where he talked about buying on Alibaba and different ways you can stay confident that you're going to get what you ordered and you're going to get it on time. And we'll be happy to talk to you about that in our booth in the front. We have a lot of great staff that can tell you everything about our app and everything else. But again, from an entrepreneurship side, Mike, that's just one example. Who's heard of guys Jake and Kramer? Okay, perfect. We have one there. Great. So Jake and Kramer were basically college students who wanted to start their own company. They're actually college dropouts. They had an idea. They said, we want to create a watch company, but we want to cut the middleman out. But we don't want to lose any of the quality that we want. We want something that's stylish, that's lightweight, that someone can wear all the time, but we want to be able to offer it at a great price. Price of $59. But at the same time, it shouldn't feel cheap. It shouldn't feel like a $59 watch. It should feel like a $200-300 watch that you would normally buy from a retailer. So they decided to design a watch themselves, and they put it on Indiegogo for funding, and pretty quickly a company called Movement was born. And a few years later, they actually recently sold to Movado Group last year for $200 million, I believe. So. The idea is you can be anyone, and companies like Alibaba.com can really be in the back end and help you get to where you are. So we love that. Ideas come from you as entrepreneurs. We can provide a way for you to find the manufacturer and bring those ideas to life, and we can help you do that through ways where you're not having to fly all over the world. You're not having to learn different languages. You're not having to sit there and wonder, am I going to get my product on time? Am I going to be protected in case something goes wrong? That's where we really step in and sort of become your partner. And there are different ways we can do that as well. So, next year, hoping we can tell one of your stories here. Like I said, we met Mike at CES. And I actually met Mike, and a few years later, we actually had a story on him, and we've actually had him come to our headquarters in China a few times as well, just so we can share his story with the folks there as well. So I'm hoping next year, we can capture one of you guys and share your stories here. Just a show of hands, how many of you guys are actually here because you have an idea? We have one. Okay, great. How many of you got two? Perfect. How many of you guys are actually running a business right now? Okay, great. And how many of you guys have used Alibaba.com or have heard of Alibaba.com? Okay, fantastic. Okay, so the goal for us really is to make sure that you guys know exactly who we are and what we do. That's my main goal as a marketer, to make sure that you know our products and services, and we really want to make sure that you guys get a chance to also go to our other booths and really see and ask us the questions and find us, because what I'm sharing here is just a little bit of what we can really offer you guys when you have a one-on-one discussion with us. So although there won't be a Q&A here, I hope that you guys find me or one of our staff here and ask your questions. Now, we're in the Design and Source Hall, and hopefully everyone saw our booth in front with the manufacturers that were there, some of whom just spoke before me. But we also have our booth in the Central Hall, as I discussed. And, I hope if you haven't had a chance to go, you really visit. And this is where the technology element really comes to mind, and innovation. We're showing off a lot of great things there. New products, new services, data, how we're basically helping businesses connect all over the world. We are a global company. We have manufacturers, we have buyers from all over the world, and we're hoping to continue that growth. But we're also adding these new technologies and trends into our platform to help meet your needs. Things like VR factory tours. So we actually have 3 pod chairs that are in our booth in the Central Hall, where you can actually sit in, put some headsets on, and you'll feel like you're actually visiting some supplier factories. So you can be in Las Vegas, but you can feel like you're in somewhere else in the world, and you actually know exactly what the machines look like, exactly how the factories look like, what their capacity is. So now it's helping you understand more right off the bat. And a lot of our suppliers already have this feature. And again, you don't need VR goggles. You can just use your mobile phone and move around as well. Immersive experience, of course, with VR goggles that you can use. Real-time video translation, this seems to be a big hit. So the idea is, we all know translation. I mean, translation tools have been around for forever. But how do you do a video chat with video translation. So there's a great example of that in our booth. And you can kind of see, let's just say if a manufacturer speaks Chinese and you speak English, as you're asking the question itself is being translated in Chinese. And as they're responding back in Chinese, it's being translated in English in real time. And you can do all of that through our mobile app. And that feature is available now. It's really cool. Product image search. We walk around this booth, and again, ideas come to mind. But let's just say if I've seen a product, rather than me going online, typing it up, or trying to figure out, hey, what this is, what if I could just take a picture on the Alibaba app and it automatically shows me those products? Well, that's there. So you can scan me and you're like, okay, that jacket is available, or those pants could be available, that shirt could be available. It's as simple as that. And we do this through our backend algorithm. We're looking at all of the details of it, and we're matching it to all the products that are on the website as well. So, another cool feature that, I hope you guys try it. But again, this is just a small example of how we are innovating ourselves and our products and services to help meet your needs and help make that B2B experience easier. Trade shows. Trade shows are important to us because, again, 180,000 people, I think I heard, that CES has brought together in 4 days. A lot of exhibitors, obviously, a lot of attendees from all over the globe. So, trade shows are great, but, what if you can't go to a trade show? You're all here at CES, but what if there's one happening in Germany or Europe tomorrow? What we're doing with our mobile app is, and we're sort of launching this here, is, we're creating a sort of an exhibition area. So, if you're on the mobile app, you could be anywhere in the world and you know exactly what's happening at CES because there's a lot of content, videos are being shared. You're seeing a lot of products that are being shown off here. But let's just say there's another trade show that's occurring a month from now. You're not going to be there or be able to be there. You can actually see what's happening. And you can also see how many of the Alibaba manufacturers might be exhibiting there. And that's all at your fingertips on our mobile app. So hopefully you guys get a chance to download our app and experience what we're doing for CES. There's a lot of great content already there for CES. And then there's an example of that on our mobile app and what that could look like. So, January we have CES, but in February there's the MTech show, then there's the IBS show, and then there's Mido in Italy. So if you're not able to go to Milan, you can still see what's taking place in Milan through our app. Again, it really for us is about, in the beginning I said reshaping global commerce. So to us, reshaping global commerce really means, we're creating an ecosystem, that equally works for buyers, that equally works for manufacturers, that equally works for, whoever you are. And after me, Kieran is going to give a pretty great session about how you can sell on Alibaba.com. So a lot of times we talk about products and services that really cater to the small business owner. But one of the questions that I'm always asked is, hey, what if I want to sell? Can I sell using the Alibaba platform from a wholesale standpoint? And Kieran's going to have a great session and tell you a little bit about that too. And we're really excited about that. And from the ecosystem side, we said this last year when we were here at CES, and our theme was innovating global trade. And 20 years later, we started off as a platform that connected manufacturers and buyers from all over the world. But we were really there for the beginning part of that process, connecting you guys. Today, we are a true end-to-end platform. What that means is you can find a manufacturer, you can order a product directly from our website. It's almost like an add to cart experience. You can pay through your credit card, or you can apply for a small business loan through our Pay Later service. After that, you can actually use logistics service through Alibaba. Logistics can sometimes be a challenging part. Okay, now that I know what I want, how do I get it from point A to point B, and how do I know I'm getting a competitive price? Now, Alibaba.com helps you see that. We're working with a lot of great major carriers, and you can get transparent, real-time pricing directly from our website. So again, from beginning to the end, we'll be there along the way. And any questions on any of these services, we're happy to answer all of this at our booth. Our booth, for example, there we go. So that's the design and source hall that we have. And then we have our supplier zone where we have 24 of our exhibitors exhibiting in our booth. So, some of them were here, some of them you were also here when they were talking about their products. They're really excited again. So, I can't stress it enough. Go over there, just take a look. A lot of their products are very innovative. Internet of Things, IoT is big. So, whether you have smart home devices and so on, a lot of the products today work with existing smart home devices, and IoT seems to be a really big hit. And a lot of our suppliers have great products that work with IoT devices already. So, check that out as well. And then when you go to our booth, you'll also get more information about trade assurance. We talked a little bit about trade assurance. What exactly is trade assurance, how you can use it, and how does it work from a standpoint of manufacturer, and how does it work from a standpoint of a small business owner or medium-sized business owner. Financing your order, we have folks here who can tell you a little bit about buy now, pay later, and how you can apply for business loans directly from our website through our partnership with Cabbage. And then logistics, what I just talked about, how you can get multiple shipping options, competitive prices, and especially online tracking to be able to see where your shipment is at any point so you know exactly when it's arriving. Let's keep talking. That's my session. Stick around. We're going to talk a little bit about how you can now sell on Alibaba.com, and we have a great speaker, Kieran, who's going to talk about the U.S. seller program that we're really excited about. So thank you, guys. And again, there's no Q&A, but I'll be around. Find one of us if you have any specific questions. We're here to answer your questions. Thank you, guys. And then really quickly, I'll leave it at that. So our founder, Jack Ma, there's a quick quote from him. He's, again, great guy. But, again, from an entrepreneurship standpoint, our mission statement since day one has been make it easy to do business anywhere. And it really kind of resonates in terms of, what his vision was in 1999 when we started, and 20 years later, as big as we are, the fundamentals and the core of the company still remain the same. So